This session was more upper body focused and definitely volume oriented, even for the stuff that I've done for the lower body. In here, I wanted to feel how my shoulder felt doing barbell overhead presses. I did not feel any discomfort doing the behind the neck presses on the previous days, but sometimes when I'm doing some movements, even like the weighted push-ups, I do feel a bit of discomfort, especially when my arm and my elbows kind of stay closer to the torso, which is the opposite of when I'm doing the incline dumbbell presses, and when I flare the elbows out is where I feel the pain a bit more. So I need to play around with these ranges of motion just to stay shy of pain, maybe double with discomfort, but not to the extent that is not really giving me a good sensation inside the shoulder as I wrap them up. In here I was doing also some high pulls, and I was really focusing on technique, thinking about really pushing and driving my hips through, fully extending the legs, almost hyperextending the hips as the bar shoots up, and then trying to control it as it goes down. I'm only doing this exercise once a week, so I'm not really expecting to become a technical master on that, but some proficiency and some ironing of the bugs can still happen as I'm doing these. Overhead press, I just kept it with 30 kilos, and the sets that I did 3 sets. They were in the 7 to 8 reps. I was repping these and then trying to go straight for a few pull-ups. Again, just with volume in mind, trying to get as much blood pumping in the shoulder. I was also doing some exercises for that in the forms of the usual internal and external wall twists for the rotator cuff. But I was doing these more in the warm-up part of the session here because I wanted to be able to do supersets on overhead presses and pull-ups and maybe get a couple of minutes of rest before I went into the high pulls. And when I was done with those, I proceeded to get some extra volume for the posterior chain. So I did something explosive in the forms of the high pulls, and then I went for something a bit more volume focused with the hip thrusts. In here, the first set I recorded, but it was a bit funny because the padding wasn't enough, and this is a 15 kilo bar, so it's a bit narrower, so it allows me to get much deeper into flexion at the bottom, but also it kind of digs a lot into my hips. So the first set was quite painful. Then I went to get an extra pad, and I was kind of wrapping it up like a hot dog. And in here it was doable, it was bearable. So I went up 10 kilos. So I was doing reps with 65 kilos, and yeah, felt good. Maybe I was pushing my legs a bit too far out, so I was feeling a bit of engagement also in my hamstrings. I wanted to isolate a bit more the glutes, so I might be just keeping my heels closer to the bench the next time that I'm doing this. And the last stuff that I did was just some dumbbell work for the shoulder, incline dumbbell press, trying to explore a bit more of the range of motion, trying to go as low as possible without feeling any pain. I didn't feel anything, so that's good. Ciao.